And I can't go on with my life and ignore it. Many of you know Joan Mohamed. She became a freedom rider, was arrested in Mississippi, and was housed on death row. She participated in violent lunch counter sit-ins and repeatedly risked her life because she could not accept or ignore the injustices around her. Years later, we are still here, but we take inspiration from people like Joan and from all of you who stand with us to insist on just and a just society. I'm proud to introduce our neighbor, your neighbor, Miss Joan Mohamed.
Thank you. I'm going to get out front of this podium. I'm not going to hide behind it as short as I am.
That's so cute.
Well, I'm about as Arlingtonian as they come. From the time they brought me home from the hospital to Buckingham Apartments to today, I have moved 0.8 of a mile south on George Mason Drive and 1 block west. That was resounding. And I was involved in the Arlington sit-ins over in Cherrydale and down the road from there, and Shirlington, you know, all those things. And we did change Arlington a bit, but there's still a ways to go. And I have a confession to make. I have been afraid and nervous around police. I am powerful. I have been afraid and nervous around the police for decades until one of the Arlington policemen moved in next door, across the street from me, directly across the street. Now, I did ask him not to park his cruiser directly in front of my house. But he is a nice gentleman. And my heart was changed toward the police. And now that I'm seeing a bunch of them marching with the demonstrators, kneeling with the demonstrators, and hugging up, never mind social distancing with demonstrators, I have a whole new image. And I want to thank the policemen that are here today. Oh, I didn't even have to ask you to applaud them. That is good. Now, for what I came here to talk about. This lady over here has a sign that says, "For all the names we do not know." I'm here to talk about some of that. Briefly talk about it. I want to add 10 more names to the list of folks who were killed by the Klan or by the police, and often that was one and the same in the South. And these folks were killed between 1951 and 1966. I'm just going to name 10. And that's a good round number. Harry and Harriet Moore, I got on the t-shirt. Medgar Evers. I knew Medgar. He got me in trouble, you know, down at the Woolworth in Jackson where I got all that sugar dumped on my head. You all have seen the photo. Addie Mae Collins, Denise McNair, Carol Robertson, Cynthia Wesley. They were in Sunday school in Birmingham, Alabama, when their church blew up. Then there's James Chaney. If he'd been killed by himself, it wouldn't have been any big deal in the nation. But Andrew Goodman and Mickey Schwerner were with him. And Mickey and Chaney were friends of mine because they were always out to Tougaloo College. Let's give a cheer for Tougaloo, one of those HBCUs. And when we were going from Tougaloo over to Atlanta for SNCC meetings, we could stop for a pit stop and sometimes take a nap at the Meridian headquarters where Chaney and Schwerner were working for change. Then we have Jimmy Lee Jackson. Anybody know who Jimmy Lee Jackson was? Oh, I know, she just holding up a phone. I thought she was raising her hand. Well, maybe she's raising her hand too. But Jimmy Lee Jackson was killed in Alabama, and that is what triggered the Selma to Montgomery March. And then we have Vernon Damer, also killed when his house was firebombed. He'd been working for voter registration with the NAACP. So that's 10 more names of folks we can march for today while we're marching for George Floyd. There's a lot of folks that aren't here to march with us. And it's not just because they got old and feeble. It's because they were killed. I like this man's t-shirt. I'm a real t-shirt person, if you can't tell. It says resist. Come on up front, sir. And guess who is resisting? Who's on our side? Smokey the Bear. Ain't that something? Okay. If Smokey can overcome that fire out in New Mexico, we can overcome this. So let us march on until victory is won. Thank you.
Come on, let's give John a round of applause. Freedom. I know it's getting hot. Keep in mind, we have water, face mask, sanitizer, compliments of donators to the NAACP. If you need some, please get it. I also want to take a brief opportunity. We were going to bring out a table. It's hot, but if you aren't a member of the NAACP, it's quite easy. Google NAACP.org. Find your branch, put in the zip code, Arlington 7047 is going to come up. Register online. You can become a member today. All right. Next we have a young lady down in from Green Valley area. Many of you know her. Come on up, Portia Clark. Portia Clark also was instrumental in the success of the NAACP years ago. We're glad to have her as a partner. But right now, she's been on the battleground for a long time, y'all. She ain't just getting started, so we're going to give her an opportunity to say a few words. Portia.
I'm going to see if I can do this with the mask on, but how's everyone doing? I do want to thank the organizers of this event, the NAACP and Julius, for inviting me to participate as a community leader. I've lived in Green Valley all my life. Our community has been subjected to segregation, busing, boundary changes, denial of funding, racial profiling, police brutality, community policing, and harassment. I have a son and grandsons that I have to constantly remind them that because of the color of their skin, they have to understand how to engage and interact with the police. My son has had numerous training sessions on dealing with law enforcement, what to do and how to act when stopped by the police. My daughters know how to act and engage. The teenagers I've worked with for many years know how to act and engage. There are policies on the books to protect them from many of the things that they have likely been subjected to during their lifetime. Today, I have to ask the question, what policy is going to keep them from dying? Is it a policy or the people that they will interact with? A policy is just a statement or an intent, a procedure or a protocol. It can apply to government, private sector, organization, groups, and individuals. A policy differs from the rules or the laws. As parents, we told our kids to stay with a buddy when going out, made sure they knew what the curfew was, and gave them money to call home if they needed us. Rules that they could choose to follow or not. We taught them right from wrong, and then we prayed for them and let them go their way. A policy merely guides actions towards those that are most likely to achieve a desired outcome, according to Wikipedia. Policies and procedures explain what management wishes to happen, what we must do or not do. The police and the individuals can choose to follow or not. We can look at census data, and hopefully all of you have completed your forms, because that's what brings money and representatives to our communities. And once we elect them, they can choose to follow along don't do the right things or their own thing. We as the parents, managers, supervisors, and leaders are responsible for holding them accountable. It takes a diverse pool of people to make policy, funding, and hiring decisions that are fair and equitable. People can choose to do the right thing or their thing. What policy is going to stop us from dying? Police having to wear body cams that can cost $2.5 million? Another core value that is ignored? Or a law on the books that no one enforces? Every one of us can play a role in stopping racism and keeping another black man from dying. It starts with us, me and you. I am not a policy. I should be treated with dignity and respect, regardless of the color of my skin. We the people are made in his image. For scripture reference, read Genesis 1:26. For a history lesson, I'll share with you the story of Reverend Wade Watts. Anybody know who he was? From Oklahoma? He was a black pastor that defeated the Klan. Not with a policy, but with knowledge and a kind heart. In an encounter with one of the leaders, he shook his hand. After which he had to tell him that the color of his skin would not rub off. He forgave him for being stupid and prayed for him. While at a restaurant, days after they had burned his church and crosses near his home, the leader told him that it was a place for white folks only after he had ordered his chicken. And while the Klan surrounded him, the leader told him that they were going to do to him whatever he did to that chicken that was in front of him. He picked it up and kissed it. It did not take a policy for this leader to choose to change. It was treating him with dignity and respect that led him to choose to do the right thing, and eventually getting to know Reverend Watts and his family. The issue we face today is more than a policy or two. We can put some of the books and changes, some are already there, but what will we do when you're sitting at the table, or will you even step up to the table to serve and write the policy? We need the right leadership in place for accountability and to serve us all with dignity and respect. It starts with you and me. We can make the laws and the policies to eliminate racism, but we will choose to follow them when the situations confront us. Finally, Martin Luther King had a dream. I have a hope and a faith that those of us gathered here today will do more than just write a policy or two. We need education, housing, funding for black businesses, jobs, and opportunities. Stop hating, be kind to one another, treat everyone with dignity and respect. Use our knowledge and our heart to fight racism. That shows we can honor those that have died unjustly because they were black. Black lives matter, but all lives can make our community a better place to live.
Thank you, Sister Clark. Thank you, Sister Clark. Remember, there's water. If you feel yourself getting, hot, get in the shade, get some water. We don't know when any heat casualties out here. Next, we have a gentleman. Many of you may not know about this place. The Black. How many of you, by raise your hand, who knows where the Black Heritage Museum is in Arlington? Raise your hand. Oh, we got to do better than that. He's going to tell you a little bit about it. But Scott Taylor is from the Black Heritage Museum of Arlington. We're going to give him a few minutes to speak. Scott.
Thank you so much. The Black Heritage Museum of Arlington, we're at 3108 Columbia Pike. We'll be opening back soon. I'm not going to be before you long because one thing about coming later, everybody pretty much said what I had to say. But God bless you, first of all. God bless you looking into a sea of diversity. I love diversity. I love my black people, but I don't want to always be around black people. I want to be around everybody, and I want to love everybody. And we're talking about some of the bad policing, and people say, well, they're good cops too. You don't have to tell me about good cops because I was here in Arlington all my life. I went to all black schools, And I'm telling you, even back in those days, Arlington never had bad policing. Not really. These other places, we're kind of fortunate with that. So maybe this area should be a model for the rest of the world, hopefully. But I want to just quickly say, freedom is never free. There's a cost for freedom. And a lot of us think we're free, but we're not, because we're trapped into our own fears. So I'm telling all of you, I'm challenging everybody, tell your neighbors and your friends, don't wait till you get my age when your hair turns gray to decide I'm going to do something. Today's your day to do something now. And I'm all about history. I'm all about history. But guess what? Today you're making history. Today you can be a history maker. Don't be afraid. Lift your voice. I also want to state that I've heard some people kind of say that black people aren't really patriotic. Let me tell you something. Black people are the most patriotic people on this earth. We went through 400 years of slavery, Civil War, caught malaria in World War I, the Civil Rights Movement, and guess what? I am an American. I still call myself an American. And I ain't going nowhere. My people built this place. I am an American, a proud American. So I'm going to say one more thing, and I'm gone. One more thing. One of my mentors is Dr. Alfred Taylor. I wish he was out here today because I love him so much. And he always said, when you complain about something, have a solution. So I got a solution for you right now for the police department. The police department started about 1710-ish or whatever, and it was actually started to police and patrol the slaves, the runaway slaves and the ones that were revolting. And then when the Civil War came, those were your policemen. But after the Civil War, the sheriffs took on the same thing that the slave patrols took. So it's systemic in our police department. So here's the solution. When you train the officer, give them history. Let them know how it all started so they can change it. God bless you. I love you, Arlington. Thank you very much.
So, thank you, Scott. I was told that I need to slow down just a little bit for the membership piece. Again, if you want to become a member of Arlington Branch NAACP, you can Google this, naacp.org. You'll come to a nice screen. There's a menu that says membership. Click on that. It'll ask you for your zip code. Put your zip code in. Next thing that will pop up, it'll say Arlington Branch 7047, and then it'll say something like at large. That's if you want to be a member of the membership, the NAACP at large. Don't choose that. We want you to be part of 7047. 7047. Okay, Maya Jones. Come on up, Maya. Now, I'm just going to tell you, Maya is from Arlington Young Dems. But I also need to let you know that in the outreach department, the NAACP is a nonpartisan, nonprofit, 501c4 social justice organization. And I reminded members of the board when we spoke to them this week, we don't come in here with the views of just Democrats or independents or Republicans. We're open to everybody. So it's good that Arlington Young Dems decided to send a representative to speak here today. Without further ado, I'm going to allow Maya to have a few words. All right, give her a round of applause, y'all.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for all coming out here today, and I'm really glad that we can go ahead and talk. I really don't think I'm going to talk about politics because this is way beyond any of that. This is beyond... This way? Okay. All right, I'm doing it. I don't want to stand behind the podium because I'm really short, y'all. And it'll drown me out. But I really want to say that politics is not just something that Black lives get to enjoy the same spaces that other people do. Black voices matter. Black fear matters. Black men and women matter. Black children matter because our lives are important to us. Our families care for us. Our parents raised us to be good citizens. They raised us to care about